Hey YouTube friends, I know y'all like, where's she been? Where is my weekly and my daily wine review and all that? Well, I told y'all I was thinking about changing up. So I think I'm just gonna give you guys some spoilers and probably from time to time come in and, vang about this day's episode because it's the summertime and the kids are out and we'll be doing things. So I just can't guarantee to you that I'll come on and be able to watch it or be able to come on and get the review. It's just a lot going on right now. So I am sorry. I really am. I'm trying to pick it back up and get in as much as I can, but as for now, this week was crazy busy, as if it was the last week of school where I live for my kids. So yeah, we've been doing some fun stuff. Let's go on with today's spoilers. I know you guys have waited. So for next week, starting June 4th, Phyllis's radar is on full alert after she catches Daisy and Ricky hanging out at Clemson Lights together. Which on last week, Daisy took her keys, and her and Ricky went back and fished through all Phyllis's paperwork and all that, and found documents from when she used to see a psychologist, a doctor, and all of that. And they got Ricky got the phone number and information, and um, he called the doctor, and he took the doctor wine, and he and the doctor drank till the doctor got drunk, and the man started telling him information about Phyllis and how crazy she was, and she wanted him to do crazy stuff, and Ricky ended up going through the man's stuff and stealing Phyllis's files that he had in a box, and when the man discovered that Ricky stole it, he was like, he don't even care, just whatever happens to her, she deserved it, in other words. So that's what went on with them last week. The whole thing, Ricky trying to get back at her, and I don't even know why it's this serious. It's really not. I don't even know why he act Phyllis like this. I don't even know. Like, what did she ever do to him? So Ricky and Daisy butt heads over her after he forced her to break into Phyllis's penthouse again. So this is all what's gonna happen on Monday next week. Ricky takes Phyllis, saying she killed Daisy if she could. Genevieve, I know that's gonna come back to haunt her. Genevieve makes a full confession to Christine in return for cancellation of Kane's deportation hearing, which is finally something decent that she could do. Victor finds a way to make sure Jack doesn't end up with Beauty of Nature. Nikki is overjoyed to hear that Jack is getting his feeling back in his feet. Because remember last week the lady stepped on his foot and he felt it, and Sarge came and he touched his feet and stuff, and he felt that too. So they was running tests and all that stuff. Um, of course, Kyle isn't happy. Last week they showed Kyle not happy that Jag asked Nick to marry him. He's like, well, I okayed y'all kind of being together, but marriage, that's a bit far. You know, they had this big Memorial Day feast or whatever, pool party. So Ashley on Tuesday, Ashley tells Catherine she's not comfortable speaking with her about her marriage, saying it's not anyone's business but Tucker's and mine. Um, Sophia tells Harmony she can talk to Neil whenever she wants because they're getting a divorce. But I think Harmony and Sarge might start dating because Sarge invited her to go to the pool party with him and all that, and they've been talking a little bit more. Sharon says to Victoria, you told your father, didn't you, about Billy and me sleeping together? Um, Sophia rejects Neil's plan for custody. Um, on Wednesday, why would Neil even ask for custody? And okay, on Wednesday, Victoria is not interested in Nikki's engagement to Jack. The tension increases amongst Daisy, Phyllis, and Ricky. On Thursday, Phyllis faces off with Tim Reed. That's the doctor that Ricky went to talk to about Phyllis, that has all this information about Phyllis's past. And Heather gets a new job. Last week they offered Michael the head DEA job or something, and him and Lauren went back and forth about it. And she was like, "We're just about to get Finn back, and you're gonna go do that." And she was being very unsupportive. But I think at the end of the day, she did tell him to go ahead and take it or something like that. And he said, "Well, I don't know what I want to do." So I really didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know how it all played out. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of last week's episode because I had something to do every single day last week. So anyway, on Friday, Nick and Phyllis's wedding, they arrived. And there are consequences for Phyllis regarding her treatment of Daisy. So I wonder what's gonna come back on that one. So the following week, week of June 11th, there is a tragedy at Nick and Phyllis's wedding. Daniel and Phyllis realize something shocking about Daisy. Kevin considers doing something illegal in relation to Genevieve's offer. And Paul rescues someone. Abby takes sides in the battle for beauty of nature. So, and I'm sure it'll probably be Jack's side. But then again, who knows? Um, like I said, down the road, the same stuff is going on from what I told you last week. Victor and Sharon decide not to continue. Phyllis's stuff is starting to come back to light now. Harmony gets closer to Sarge. Um, Summer and Fenmore begin a little romance thing, which is cute because their parents are best friends, so it like makes sense. Ben has resentment about being sent away, of course, and that's pretty much what's Jill is coming back in the fall, and she'll have a lot of explaining to do when she get back. So that's pretty much what's happening on next week. The only people that are coming in is Trisha returns as Nina in June. John Abbott, his little ghost, he comes in here and there. It'll come on June 20th. Well, he begins, he'll shoot his ghost on June 20th. It'll air in July. Jennifer Landon, she used to be on As the World Turns. She'll come in as Heather Stevens, beginning in June. They've had so many different Heathers. I like the very first Heather, the very first one. But I mean, we'll see. I have to be open. So she's supposed to come in next week, June 7th. Daisy's leaving. We don't have a final air date though. Ronan comes on June 26th. Ashley's leaving, but they don't know. They don't have a final date yet. A lady's coming in as Beth. Brett Butler guesses Beth on June 12th and 14th. Of course, Fenmore's coming on 11th. Summer's coming on 8th. And that's pretty much what's going on. Dr. Reed will be there for 6 episodes. So I don't know who's leaving. It doesn't say Ricky's leaving. It doesn't say Phyllis is leaving. It does say Daisy is leaving. So maybe this is the incident that's going to happen in the future. We don't know. So that's pretty much what's going on this week and in their future. I'm looking and let's see. Nothing, big time is going on. Phyllis got a little jealous when she seen Christine with Danny. Danny, not Daniel, but Danny, which is Danny Romolati's, Daniel's father. And she got a little jealous when she seen them, but once she, told Nick, told him that him and her and Nick are getting married, it kind of went away. Nothing else really big is going on or has been on. Let's see, I'm just looking, but like I said, I'll try to come in and just do a quick review of what happened on last week, and when I get to watch it, this is something quick. I always promise you guys the spoilers. That's the one thing I promise you I'll bring you. If it's Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to do that, but the everyday thing is getting a little hard. So, and seeing as if I try to fit so much in and YouTube cuts me off at like 15 minutes, yeah. So, I look strange. I do not have on just a bra. This is a dress, but it's a little low cut, so I wanted to go ahead shot up, and I did want to get this in to you guys. So enjoy your summer. All the kids are out down here. And congratulations to everyone that graduated, whether it be elementary, middle, high, college, anything. Congratulations. I wanted to get in and say that earlier this week. But congratulations to all those that graduated, all the kids that passed on to the next level. Um, Parents, I know the best is yet to come for the summer. We're happy when they're out, but then when they're out, we're like, oh goodness, when the school start back again. But overall, I have pretty good boys, so we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and we're gonna get it done. We did one thing today, one thing earlier last week. So yeah, so I have a list of things that he wants to do this summer. I have a big boy and a little boy. Little boy's going to preschool. Big boy's out for the summer. I know that's weird, but hey, that's just a little bit of my personal life. I don't need to tell you guys much, but yeah. So we have a lot going on this summer. So like I said, I'll get in. May surprise you one day and do a whole week, and then one time like this past week, I may not be able to get in and do a week at all. So just please bear with me. I thought I would be able to do it much more than I am when I first signed up, but things happen, nobody's perfect, and this is just YouTube. This is just, it's not like a regular syndicated program like the Oprah Show or Ellen or anything like this. This is just, whenever you have the time, it's just something you want to do for fun. So, but I do appreciate all of my subscribers. I have 9 now, and thanks to each and every one of you. I think I tell you all personally, thank you when you subscribe, and I also tell anybody that's watching the video, thanks for watching, because you don't have to, but you do. So I really appreciate it, and this is just something that I just popped up with doing off of a whim, and I was like, let me do this review. But I didn't know, I heard people say, you're doing this YouTube thing ain't that nice, it's really time consuming and da da da. And I was like, really? Like, how time consuming could it be? But, you know, it is what it is sometimes. It's not just standing here recording. You have to upload can take forever depending on what level you're uploading it at. And some people know how to edit. I don't even know how to do that. That's why sometimes I'm yawning or kids in the background, or because I don't know how to edit, and I don't like to restart over. So because that's another time consuming thing. So when I do a video twice because it's went over, I'm like, okay, look, let me just break this down real fast. Boop, boop, boop. This is what happened, and the end. So, okay, enough of my babbling. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys maybe next week, or maybe next Saturday. Well, for sure next Saturday or Sunday, but maybe one day next week I'll come in if something really good. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the really, really when it's real, real good. When it's like slow and really boring, nothing action. But I think this Phyllis and Ricky thing is gonna be like the big thing for this month. So I think I'll probably come in and just give y'all an update about them. So stick to the important stuff. That's all y'all want to hear, how the action. But anyway, so you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Good Sunday. I'll see you next week with your daily Y&R. Have a good day.